Hey guys, this is Joe from the Phelps Racing channel here, and what we're going to be going over today is iRacing. What is it? How to get started in it. Hopefully this will cover everything that anybody who's interested in it, maybe answer some questions along the way. But obviously if you've looked into iRacing or interested in it, you may or may not know, but it is only on PC. You cannot get it on console. As far as I know, there is no console planned for it. So I know they did do a dirt game, dirt oval racing game. Not really sure what it's called, something with the Dirt Outlaws or something like that. But that was a collaboration with iRacing. Maybe that's a step in the way of getting iRacing to consoles, but as of right now, there's no talk of it. But anyway, let's go into this here. So when you go to iRacing's page, obviously iracing.com there, this is what you're gonna, there's the dirt racing game that they did, obviously on PlayStation and Xbox. So tons of information. This can be a little overwhelming, and I myself have been doing this for about 6-7 months now, and I was a little overwhelmed with it myself. So obviously, since it's on PC, you're going to need to know what you're going to need in your PC to be able to support iRacing. It is an older sim. I believe it started in 2008, but the cool thing that they have on here, I'll have to find it again, but they have a system requirements. There you go, under the membership system requirements right there. So you go to membership, go to system requirements, and this is gonna tell you what you're gonna need. So here's minimum Windows 10, and from being on the forum and reading some things, Windows 10 seems to be a little bit better than Windows 11. There's a lot less issues with Windows 11 versus Windows 10. But there's also some limitations to Windows 10 versus Windows 11, and it goes back. It's about an even trade-off. I have Windows 11. I've had some odd things happen, but most of it's been through some of the updates that iRacing has done, and then they go through 4 or 5 updates, and then all of a sudden the issue that I had is fixed. But anyway, CPU. I believe, yeah, mine is an 8-core. So I have a Ryzen 5700X. The Ryzen 7 5700X. RAM, 16 gig minimum, 32 gig most. From what I've been reading a lot, is the 16 gig is pretty much about the max that iRacing uses. So maybe that's the reason why 32 gig is recommended, so you have a little extra RAM. But even with me at 16 gigs of RAM, I have had 0 issues with this. GPU, this is going to be your expensive part here. Now, mine is 8 gigs. I have a NVIDIA, well, an MSI 3070. From what I've read also, AMD does not do very well with iRacing. Why that is, I don't know. I was considering it until I read a lot of the issues that people had, and I was like, alright, well, I guess I'll just stay with NVIDIA for now. Storage space. Now, I have a M.2 storage on my motherboard that's 500 gig. You can see here 50 gig for all cars and tracks. I want to say that's a little outdated. I want to say it's probably close to 100 gig, but me personally, I wish I would have had a 2 terabyte M.2 storage, but it still works. DX11, that's pretty much standard. controller. Now, as you can see, you can use a mouse, touch screen, joystick, basically a PlayStation or Xbox controller. As you can see, I have a wheel. I don't have anything expensive. It's a Thrustmaster T150. They go for about $230 new, and that's the upgraded pedal set, which is like another $100. But anyway, this is the big thing here: is you're not gonna get the experience of the game on a controller or anything like that as you would a wheel with force feedback. And the reason that I say that is I do a lot of the NASCAR series, oval stuff, and going through Auto Club. Auto Club is really bumpy on the backstretch, and you're not going to feel that on a controller. Whereas like the wheel, it's it's bouncing around, it's doing like this type of thing, and you're trying to hold it straight, and it's a good time. You get so much more better feel out of the game with that. Obviously, pretty much everybody's going to have some sort of cable internet. Google Chrome or Firefox. This, I'm not really sure if it's going to make a difference. I use, obviously, the Windows Edge, but they used to go through the web browser as getting erases and all that, but now they have a whole interface that pops up, and we're going to go into that here in a little bit anyway, that's some of the things, requirements. Now the cool thing is some people have figured out that some laptops can also run iRacing. The best way to find out if your system can run iRacing is this right here. Click this. It's going to do like a system checker for your PC or your laptop, and it's going to tell you what is going to work, what's not going to work, and what will need to be upgraded. So kind of pretty much, this is like more of a basic setup. This is somewhat closer to what I have. I've gone through my setup on my channel before, so that's one of my other ones. But anyway, so it is a membership, so it's a subscription, and you can here you go. So this is your subscription. You can do a month, 3 months, 1 year, or 2 years. As you can see, right now they're running 40% off for new members, which is a great deal for 2 years. Because if, like I did, I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it or not, so I threw $20 at it, and lo and behold, I'm still doing it. So it's gonna be a permanent thing. As you can see, this is some of the information they give you too. Different cars, tracks. We're gonna go into that here in a little bit. There you go. This is the car set that you get when you initially download the game. You do have to pay for any cars and tracks outside of what is listed here. So they give you basically all of the rookie series cars that you have, and this Toyota GR86, that is a fun road course car. I wasn't a fan of the Formula V. You got the trophy trucks, the NASCAR Legends. This is a rallycross car, dirt modified. That's a street stock dirt car. The Mazda Spec Series is a rookie class series for road racing. It's a blast. The Dallara IR12, I think this is basically IndyCar. But IndyCar got away from NASCAR, and they're doing their own game now, so it's not technically called IndyCar, but it's still pretty much the same cars. And we don't have the Indy 500 anymore, so but yeah, that's that. The CTSV Cadillac is fun to drive. Street stocks, I'm in both series, and those are pretty fun to drive on ovals. Other than that, I haven't really drove any of these other cars, but that's the thing, is you get a little bit of everything here. So you get some of your road course, you get the dirt ovals, you get the rallycross off-road stuff, and then you get the NASCAR oval style stuff. So a little bit of everything. So here's some of the tracks that you get for free. VIR, Lime Rock, Charlotte Motor Speedway, Wild West. I know that's a dirt track. Scuba, it's a fun road course. VIR is a fun road course. Daytona Rallycross track. That is not the full Daytona Speedway. But yeah, these are the basic. And this will be, all of these tracks will be included in your rookie series. Now the reason I say the rookie series, so the rookie series is something you're going to start out with, no matter how you get going in iRacing. But it gives you a chance to get a feel for what you want to do as far as racing and iRacing, because there's so much different things. Like here you go, NASCAR, road racing, dirt ovals, open wheel, rallycross, off-road, and they even have hill climb time attacks, and there's a bunch of different series that they do inside of those, so there's tons of racing. These are some of the actual official high-end series that they broadcast on iRacing's channel, and on the interface that we're going to go over here in a minute. Let's see. Pretty much just about any steering wheel setup will be compatible with PC, is going to be compatible with iRacing. There's some sporting codes and things that you need to read or agree to before you sign up for it. I was looking to see if they had the listings of all the licenses. Is you start out with rookie, you move up to D, then you go up to C, B, A, and then you can go to pro from there. But that's a whole process that you have to go through to get the pro, and you have to be ranked at a certain thing. But anyway, so they got some pretty good videos. There we go. License classes. Here we go. So this video here that they have is going to go over all the license classes. Just like I said, you start in the rookie class, and you can work up to D, C, B, and A. And if you make the cut to pro license level, each license level allows you to participate in more races. So this is basically their main site. You sign up, and then let's see if it yeah, they got some of their merchandise and stuff listed on there. You can buy a whole starter pack from them. This is basically the wheel that I have. I had those. Honestly, the gas and the brake on that feels about the same. And when you go to the T3PAs, the brake has a little bit stiffer spring, so you get a little bit better feel out of it. But I've modded mine from there. But anyway. Let's see. They're constantly adding new cars, new tracks, updating things all the time on here. So this is a new track that they've added. Lincoln Speedway. That's a dirt track for those guys. Sebring. Recently added Sebring. This is a new car that they're adding. I think. Oh, that is the different paints that you can do. There's the new GR86. And like I said, they're constantly they're doing updates to this game like twice a week. So, oh, I guess that's it. But anyway, so this is where you find all of your information that you want to know about the game. It's not what I wanted to do. But these are, like I said, some of the NASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing series. I follow that, and some of the drivers from NASCAR actually race in that. Dale Jr. races in it that I've seen a few times. I don't know if he does like a constant thing in that, but I've seen him run a few races in that. That's pretty much everything that on the site. Once you sign up for it, you'll be able to download it. And we're gonna go ahead and log in here. So once you sign up and you get logged in, this is the screen that it's going to take you to. So from here you can find official, you can find races, you can join a race, all of that. My account, this is where you update your membership. You pay for your membership there. And basically once you pay for your membership, you go through the whole sign up process. It will take you step by step through the screen on downloading everything. Once you get it downloaded, you'll pretty much end up here at this screen. You'll have access to the forum, and again, they do have the app, which is pretty nice because you can look on there and see your stats. You can see what races are coming up, the times that they start. It's very helpful. Then you can see my license class up here. Mostly race NASCAR. I'm not too much in the dirt stuff, but some of the ARCA races that I run are in dirt, and it is fun, but it's not something I want to race all the time. Let's see. So, you want a more in-depth look at what cars. These are cars that I do not own yet. So we got some GT3 cars, some Daytona prototypes, GT4 cars, some more Dallara cars, F3, IR18. Those of you who race IndyCar or like racing IndyCar, you'll know a little bit more about those than I do. I don't typically race that. I've ran a few races with the Dallara, but not too much. Dirt cars, modifieds, the Dirt Midget. I really would like to see them actually add the micros. This is about as close as you're going to get to the micro, but it's not quite the micro. Some more GT class cars. That's a WRC car. Honda Civic Type R, so you got the front wheel drive classes too. Some of the old Formula cars, off-road trucks, Formula One. Now we're getting into NASCAR. So we got the Whelen modifieds, you got the Gen 6 Cup cars, got the next gen cars, got the 87 cars. I own the Buick and the Chevrolet. Then you get the Craftsman Truck Series, obviously I own Chevrolet. Xfinity Series, current car, I own the Chevrolet Camaro on that. This is a fun car that I've raced on Gran Turismo. A lot of Porsches, GT cars. I can't. There's a free version of this car that you get too, and I want to say that I've ran a race with that, and it's a pretty fun car too. These look really fun. I've thought about it, and that's the thing. As you start to progress through your license stuff and what you want to race, it'll unlock other stuff, and you'll be like, yeah, I want to try that. And just buy the car and buy a track or two, and the next thing you know, boom, find a series that you like. Those are the V8 Australian supercars. Some more F1 cars, more Dallaras, Miatas. Now the legacy cars is obviously, as you can see, they're much cheaper. Now this is where the game can get expensive. That's why I say, download the game, don't buy anything yet. Start racing with the rookie class cars and get a feel for what type of racing you want to do in this game. Car tomorrow, I believe that's a Gen 6 car. It's Xfinity car, previous gen, GT3 Cup. There's a big series for that. Not really sure what that is, but that looks fun. Looks like a high downforce car. Some more of the V8 supercars, and then the IR04. There's a big series for that too. But those are some of the tracks, or cars. Take a look at the tracks now. There is much more tracks than there are cars, I feel like. Now, also, these are tracks that I don't own. Interlagos, which is a track that I probably should buy because I did like racing that on Gran Turismo. Bark River, so that's probably a trophy truck class. Got some jumps in there, and navigating them jumps in the game is pretty challenging. Band's Hatch, I've raced that on GT. This is a dirt oval. We got the Chicago Street Course that NASCAR is going to race later this year. Chili Bowl, all kinds of good road courses. Barcelona, Spa, Le Mans, Circuit of the Americas. Like, there's so many good road courses I have not downloaded, and that's just because the cars don't race on those tracks. But Mid-Ohio, I should own that since I'm from Ohio. It's just a lot of good tracks on here, and we're only, yeah, we're there. Now we're at the bottom there. Again, and the legacy stuff is going to be cheaper, but usually those don't run in the series that's live. Those are just kind of tracks people want to buy just to have them. But as you buy, once you buy the tracks and the cars, you own them. And anytime they do updates, you don't have to rebuy them. They are yours. You don't have to do nothing. Just you'll get a notification for the update when you log into here or the user interface, which we're going to go over that next. And just trying to see. There we go. So you can see what kind of tracks there are. Now, most stuff that I race is NASCAR, but there are some road courses that I do like to race, especially Monza. I love racing Monza. Atlanta Motor Speedway, Auto Club. ARCA car just came off of Auto Club, and the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series is racing that now as a fun track to race. Charlotte Motor Speedway, and now you see Charlotte Motor Speedway, but they've obviously got the Roval pictured there. Now when you click this, it should give me all the options for the track too. Yep, so when you buy the track, you get the Roval. You get all of the, oh, that's the Legend. Maybe that's why. Oh, no. Anyway, you get all of the associated configurations with that track. It's not just that one configuration. And except for Daytona. Like Daytona, for some reason, they split up the dirt stuff with the Motor Speedway. It's something, I don't know. Kansas has been a fun track. Kentucky's been pretty good to me. Langley and Lanier Speedway done good at Vegas. Martinsville's been a good one. Michigan's been a good one. There's been a lot of good ones. But Rockingham, that's not far from me. Talladega, Texas. Twin Ring. BIR, Watkins Glen. Iracing Superspeedway. This is a track that is actually not on the map, but it is a iRacing made superspeedway. So obviously it's an oval, and it is 3 miles. So you would think by looking at this picture it's kind of small. No, it's 3 miles. And the truck series and the banking is in the corners is ridiculous. Let's see if we can see the screenshots here. So yeah, you can see the pictures do not do the straightaways justice. Like, they are super long. see if it shows the banking. So this is the banking in the straightaway, and honestly, when you're on the straightaway, it almost feels flat because you're even in like the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series, you're doing 200 miles an hour by yourself. There's a picture of the banking. It's like 45-degree banking almost. Like it's steep, and it's like 8 lanes wide. So that is a wild super speedway to race. I've lost a lot of safety rating at that track, but it is a fun track to race. But anyway, so what we're going to do is we are now going to open our user interface. So once you download it, this is what's going to come up. So when you go racing, this is what you're going to see. You can list it by the series that is up next. Hosted races are races that people host. You can join them if you have the car and the track for it, but there's going to be a lot of different races here at different times. Time attack competitions. These are completely free to compete in. So this is my ARCA car, and basically these are all the tracks that I own. You do have to buy the track, you do have to buy the car, but it's kind of like a good way to practice also a fixed setup. But anyway, what I was getting to was, when you go to the series list here, you get all of these, and you're like, oh man, how do I know what I'm going to join and when? And well, we got these little clocks up here. You have to register for this event before this timer runs out to be able to compete in it. The green check mark means your license is eligible for that series, so obviously rookie, you're going to be eligible for it. Pretty much if it says rookie, you're going to have the car, you're going to have the track, and you're going to have the license. So those are the 3 things you've got to meet to be able to run this series. And this is the Street Stock Rookie Series. And like I said, the Miata is also a rookie series, but for road. So your licenses are split up by the type of race. So obviously my oval B 1600 I rating, road C 1100 I rating. I rating doesn't mean a whole lot. That is going to pair you up with like I rating drivers, so everyone is like skill level. So in a fixed series, people are going to be running pretty close to each other for a little while until the skill sets come in or somebody has a problem or whatever. Now we'll get over here to this one, and you can see the little shopping cart. So obviously it's telling me purchase required, so I gotta buy the car. USA International Speedway. I think I own that track. Yeah, I own this track. This is one of the rookie series class, but racing this car on this track, that would be a blast, because this is like I want to say it's a 1 mile. So you can click the track info there, and it's going to tell you 3/4 mile. So that's a small track. That's a short track, which most of the rookie series oval tracks are short tracks. This one is a little bit wider, so this car on this track should do. As you can see, they race it on dirt. I've raced the ARCA car here on dirt, and the ARCA car, you cannot floor it down the straightaway with the steering wheel straight. You have to keep it like half to 3/4 throttle, and 3/4 throttle is still pushing it because it will spin the tires and spin out on its own. As you can see, D class is required for that. Now this is ranked. Ranked means that is going to affect your I rating. If we go down here to this one right here, unranked, that will not affect your I rating, and I believe it will not affect your safety rating either. These are good practices, but there's very few series that race unranked. But fixed series, open series. Fixed series is going to be, the setup is fixed. Say with the street stocks here, the only thing you can change is your steering ratio, brake bias, and steering wheel offset, where the steering wheel is positioned. Now in the ARCA car, for some reason, they got this steering wheel clocked to here, so when you go into the corner, the car is turning left, but the steering wheel's still straight. And sometimes, some tracks it can get a little annoying because you're steering straight, but the car's turning left. You can adjust that. Basically, that's more of a preference, but I'm gonna go into that later in another video. But basically, center up steering wheel with that setting. But as you can see, C-Class. So this little thing right here where it says up NPR, that means if you race this, because my road is C-Class, this is going to help me move up to B-Class oval or road racing. Now the Xfinity series is the one that I gotta run. Late models are fun. Yeah, see, the Xfinity series is the one I gotta have. So as you can see, it tells you when the race starts, what track it's at, what car, how many laps, what setup. So you can get kind of a feel for what you want to race and what kind of setup style you want to race. Open setup, you can change anything on the car. But that's where some of the competition comes in, of having to race people who have paid for setups. Maybe they have a better setup than you. They're going to be faster than you. Not necessarily, but 9 times out of 10, if you're not buying setups, you're probably not going to be competitive in an open setup. Or if you're not making your own setups, you're probably not going to be competitive. I don't race too many open series. I don't think I've raced any open series. But it seems to be not as desired as the fixed setup, because the fixed setup, it basically everybody's got the same setup besides your 3 that I said that you can change, and it really puts it in the hands of the driver. So it's a driver's race. ARCA Menard series, this is a fun series. Now, what I will tell you, as far as the oval stuff, I haven't raced too many upper road classes to be able to tell you, but so the rookie and the D class and the ovals do not have caution flags. You get 1 fast repair. So if you wreck the car, you get 1 fast repair. You go into the pits, your car's fixed like that, and you're back out on the track. You're probably going to be 2-3 laps down, but versus, say, the C class over here, if you wreck your car and you got 8-minute repair time and they're turning like 15-20 second laps, you're going to be down 10 laps before you get back out on the track, or more. So, like I said, this is a caution flag series. They give you extra set of tires in the truck series. The super late models, you don't, and that's just how that series is if you go to one of those races, they get 5 tires. You get 1 extra one if you have a flat. That's the only time you ever see them change a tire. They run the whole race on the same set of tires. ARCA series, that's been a fun class for me. But like I said, there's a lot of information here. But what you can do is, once you start finding your series that you like to race, you can click this little star right here. And what that does is, if you go up here and you click this, boom, all your starred series are now on there, like the series. And this is what I like to do to separate the series that I do like to race, or that I potentially want to race, like the NASCAR Legends. Eventually I'm going to get into that. Those are the 87 cars, and I eventually want to get into those. And then this is something that I just recently did. I did the Daytona 500. That was 200 laps at Daytona. Obviously fixed series, 100 laps at Auto Club. So that's going to be a longer race than, let's say the Xfinity series was 35 laps, and then I want to say that a Cup series fixed is like maybe 40 or 45 laps. it's a percentage of how many laps are actually in the race. Yeah, look, this is 30, that's 35, and they're both at Auto Club. I want to say the ARCA race was either 25 or 30 laps at Auto Club. This says Homestead, Miami, but as you can see, it's Road Course B. I just ran that the other day. That's the most recent video I posted up. This is a fun car to race on a road course. So that's how you can kind of narrow it down. You can make your own AI to race against. They got the store on there, so you can buy your cars and tracks from the UI. So that's kind of new. These are your cars. Now you can see some of my cars have like these awesome, looks like custom paint schemes, and that's because they are. I use a third-party app called Trading Paints. And it is free. It's pretty easy to set up, step-by-step instructions on how to set it up. You go through here and you can pick out car, paint. This kind of helps because if you don't change your paint, if everyone in the game had the same paint, it would be hard to tell who is who on the track. And when you get people bumping and banging against each other, or somebody intentionally wreck somebody else, it's hard to tell who's at fault. So if you change your paint, you're not going to accidentally get taken out by someone who thought you took them out and you didn't. So we go to find a paint, it brings up this, you can click more paints, and boom, there you go. It'll tell you how many people are racing the paint. 106 people are racing this paint. 21 people are racing the Hello Kitty paint. Obviously, if you pick something with a lower number, there's a less chance of you running into somebody who's got the same paint as you. Now, in the late model series, I've ran into one or two people that were using the Budweiser paint that I had, the Bud Light, and both of us were racing at the same time with the paint. It was kind of confusing on who was who. And it will still stay running even though you keep it open. There's my, if you can't tell, I'm a Dale Sr. fan. Dale Jr. fan too, so. Just all kinds. Alan Kowicki, Hendrick.com car, Hendrick.com truck, Mountain Dew. That I just thought that was a cool one, so I picked that one. Anyway, you can join teams, you can make your own team, you can find a league. There's tons of leagues available. Leagues are also a good way to find out what kind of cars you like to race. You can go back and look at your stats for each race. That's how many incidents you have. Your incidents is going to affect your safety rating, which is your class. So you can see there my safety rating for Class B is 2.53. So this is what your safety rating page looks like. So if you want to move up, say if I wanted to move up to A, this has to be at a 3.0 or better at the end of the season, or I go above 4.0, I get promoted instantly. I progressed pretty quick up to B. I did get up to A, and the end of the last season kind of knocked me out of that because of a Martinsville race. More beating and banging you do, the more it drives down your safety rating. Safety rating is the sole thing that drives your license, not your I rating. So sometimes it's better just to let people pass or try to just avoid wrecks altogether. You can save replays and watch them. You can get your videos and things from there, and then you can also go to the forum from there. So just a little run through on everything on how to get iRacing set up and downloaded, going through it, figuring out what you want to race. Hopefully this video helps out somebody, and who knows, maybe I'll see you out on the track. But it's pretty much about all I got for this video. Oh yeah, and then you can, the test drive, you can, any car, any track that you have, you can basically run the test drive here. The test drive will also let you change all of the settings on the car, so it's basically like an open setup. Got all your other information up here. It's how many laps have been turned by members, the date, time, notifications. That's how many people's online. Oh, this is one other thing I want to show real quick. So a lot of times your Windows or iRacing does updates. Sometimes you'll need to go in and reconfigure your graphics settings, which they'll have you do that when you download it. But if you do this, sometimes it'll help fix some issues. So if you click your little helmet here, I'll bring up this page. If you go to settings, it'll bring up this menu, and you'll click interface. Here you can change the size of this actual window that pops up. You can change all kinds of settings here. Your display mode, you can go monitor, Oculus, or VR. Clock format, you can use 24-hour time, you can use local time. But anyway, when you want to upgrade or run your graphics configuration after doing a bunch of updates, click this button, a menu will pop up. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so that's what will pop up. Obviously, it'll have your graphics card listed there, and I would assume if you have more than one graphics card, you can select that. You can do the minimum settings, or you can do the auto configuration. Minimum settings, it's going to set everything to minimum, and I run mine at 3860 by 2140, I think is what it's in. And if you do minimum settings, it's going to be like 720p by something else. Like it'll go from looking like a 4K game to something on PlayStation 1. So I would not click that. I would just do the auto configuration, let it do its thing, and then you probably have to go in and readjust all your settings back to where you had it. So, oh, that's cool. It's not going to let me close it. Anyway, so that's pretty much about all I got. Like I said, hopefully this helps people figure out something about if they want to get into it. It is a lot of fun. Like I said, definitely recommend a wheel. Basic setup here. I got a basic cheap frame from Amazon that pretty much accepts all sorts of different pedals. The steering wheel's got a clamp on the bottom of it here that bolts it to this plate, so that's nothing special. The seat, I did make the seat because that came out of my project car that I have, and this, I know it looks like a little display. I have it tilted down so I can see the bottom of the screen there, but this I use for the sim dashboard. So this has all my onboard telemetry from the car on it. So, and that's one thing that I love about this. It's so customizable. It's not funny. There's like limitless amount of modifications you can do to just a it's basically how immersed you want it to be. Like you can get motion rigs, you can, all kinds of things, but that's later on down the road. I am planning on upgrading my stuff eventually to a direct drive wheel and some load cell pedals, but I'm going to do a video on whole setup and how all that works and everything. But like I said, hope this helps out somebody out there, and I'm going to get on here and do some racing. But thanks for watching. Hope answered some questions there.